Aging is a natural part of life. No matter how much we might wish otherwise, we can't stop the clock. But here's the good news. We can take steps to ensure that as we grow older, we stay healthier and more vibrant. Today, I want to share an exciting scientific discovery. Researchers have identified a fascinating compound, one that's actually produced naturally in our bodies. Unfortunately, as we age, our ability to produce this compound declines. When scientists gave this substance to study participants, something remarkable happened. Their chronic inflammation, a key driver of many age-related diseases and faster aging, was significantly reduced. Before we dive into the details of how we can reduce the risk of chronic diseases that often come with aging, let's take a step back. I want to explain the biological mechanisms that make an older person's body different from a younger one. Understanding these differences will help you see why the compounds I'll discuss today can have such a powerful impact on our health. As we age, our bodies develop what's known as chronic low-grade inflammation. This isn't the same as the acute inflammation you might experience when you have an injury or infection. Instead, it's a persistent, low-level inflammation that scientists have coined inflammaging, a combination of the words inflammation and aging. This type of inflammation doesn't occur in younger people. While it's subtle, it's constant, and it plays a major role in the development of age-related diseases. It also worsens the symptoms of existing conditions, making them harder to manage. Now it's important to understand that short-term inflammation isn't a bad thing. In fact, it's a normal and necessary process that helps your body fight off infections or repair damage. But chronic low-grade inflammation, especially when it happens without any clear cause, is a different story. This type of inflammation speeds up the aging process and can lead to serious, often irreversible damage at the cellular level. Why does this happen? The answer lies in its impact on your mitochondria, the tiny power plants inside your cells that produce energy. When mitochondria are weakened, your body's systems can't function as efficiently as they should because they're not getting the energy they need. This is when health problems start to appear. To make matters worse, during chronic low-grade inflammation, mitochondria start to misbehave. They release an excess of free radicals, which increases oxidative stress in the body. This creates a domino effect, leading to even more serious health issues. So why does this happen to some people as they age, but not to everyone? And why do some people seem to age faster than others? One of the biggest factors is a lack of physical activity, though there are many other contributors as well. When we're not active, our mitochondria lose their balance. The cells in our body stop using as much of the energy that mitochondria produce, which throws the whole system out of sync. This is why staying physically active is so critical for maintaining good health as we age. One of the most important ways physical activity improves our health and helps us live longer is by keeping our mitochondria, the energy centers of our cells, functioning at their best. Another cause of chronic low-grade or moderate inflammation, which accelerates the aging process, is the presence of chronic diseases that provoke ongoing inflammation in the body. One example of such a condition is diabetes. Therefore, one of the most effective ways to promote healthier aging and improve our quality of life is to stay physically active and properly manage chronic illnesses. But that's not the focus of today's discussion. Today, we're talking about another way to reduce inflammation that often accompanies us as we age. Something that, in addition to physical activity, can help suppress this persistent internal inflammation. Research shows that glutathione may play a key role. Glutathione is a powerful antioxidant that neutralizes excess free radicals generated by inflammation. It is naturally produced in nearly all of our cells and plays a critical role in maintaining health. Glutathione not only removes excess free radicals, but it also supports liver detoxification, protects against environmental toxins, and even induces apoptosis, the programmed cell death in cancer cells. To illustrate its importance, glutathione is actively transported into our mitochondria, the energy-producing centers of our cells, where it helps suppress inflammation at its source. In other words, our bodies are equipped with a molecule capable of neutralizing free radicals and reducing unnecessary, excessive inflammation. But here's the challenge. As we age, our body's production of glutathione begins to decline significantly after the age of 45. This decline is closely associated with the increased prevalence of chronic diseases in individuals aged 45 to 50 and older. A deficiency in glutathione is one of the contributing factors to this trend. So, what can we do about it? Should we simply accept this as an inevitable part of aging? Absolutely not. This is where recent scientific discoveries come into play. Researchers have found that a 6-month regimen of oral glutathione supplementation, at doses ranging from 250 to 1,000 milligrams per day, can significantly increase glutathione levels in the body. By how much? Studies show that supplementation at these levels increased glutathione concentrations by 30 to 35% in blood cells, plasma, and lymphocytes, and by an impressive 260% in the cells of the oral mucosa. What does this mean for us? It means we have a tangible way to enhance the effectiveness of our body's natural defense system against free radicals. These findings are promising, but it's important to note that glutathione absorption through the digestive tract is generally poor. This issue becomes even more pronounced as we age. For this reason, the doses used in the study were higher than what is typically found in everyday foods. So, how can we effectively increase glutathione levels in our bodies, reduce inflammation, and slow down the aging process? We can supplement with glutathione or consume foods that are naturally rich in this antioxidant. I'll discuss these dietary sources at the end. We must keep in mind that only a portion of the glutathione we consume will actually be absorbed by our bodies. This is where consuming the building blocks of glutathione can help, allowing the body to synthesize it internally. Glutathione is made up of 3 smaller components: cysteine, glutamine, and glycine. To stimulate glutathione synthesis in the body, it's sufficient to provide 2 of these components, cysteine and glycine, which can be supplemented to boost the body's internal production of glutathione. This, in turn, strengthens our natural defense against chronic inflammation, a condition that shortens our lifespan. To back this up, let me share data from a highly significant and fascinating scientific study. The researchers hypothesized that a decline in glutathione synthesis and increased oxidative stress, a key driver of inflammation, are major contributors to accelerated aging processes in the body. Importantly, they also found that providing glutathione precursors, or its building blocks, can increase glutathione levels in older adults. The study lasted 16 weeks and involved supplementation with glutathione precursors, specifically cysteine in the form of N-acetylcysteine and glycine. The study included 24 participants, divided into 2 groups: a younger group aged 21 to 40 years, and an older group aged 61 to 80 years. To determine whether these 2 building blocks could influence glutathione levels in muscle tissue, the researchers measured glutathione concentrations in the participants' muscles both before and after the study. The results were striking. In the older group, the baseline glutathione concentration in muscle tissue was 2.4 nanomoles per kilogram of muscle. After 16 weeks of supplementation with cysteine and glycine, this level increased dramatically, nearly reaching the levels typically observed in younger individuals. Specifically, the older participants raised their glutathione levels to 6.3 millimoles per kilogram of muscle mass, compared to an average of 7 millimoles per kilogram in younger individuals. As you can see, to increase the levels of this critical free radical scavenger, our body's natural anti-inflammatory vacuum cleaner, we don't necessarily need to supplement with glutathione itself. Instead, we can supplement with the components that the body uses to synthesize glutathione internally: cysteine and glycine. This approach, as demonstrated by the study, can help older adults achieve glutathione levels closer to those of younger individuals. Now, you may recall that I mentioned earlier how glutathione is actively transported into mitochondria to reduce oxidative stress within them. It should come as no surprise, then, that the same study also found improvements in mitochondrial function as a result of this supplementation. To help you understand the significance of this study and how it truly impacted the health of the participants, imagine this. In the group of older adults, a noticeable improvement was observed in a basic activity: walking. It turned out that after 16 weeks of supplementation, these individuals were able to walk faster. And now, the moment everyone has been waiting for. When it comes to the inflammation marker, it dropped dramatically, like an avalanche, down to low levels. And the cherry on top of this study? The supplementation with these 2 compounds had no, I repeat, no side effects for the participants. So, With the topic of glutathione covered, let's move on because this isn't the only good news I have for those of you interested in healthy aging. The scientific world shows us that there's another powerful substance we cannot ignore, one that is rarely associated with its anti-inflammatory potential. That substance is none other than melatonin, the so-called sleep hormone. But it's no coincidence that melatonin is being discussed here today. The most important fact about melatonin, one worth remembering, is that it is a powerful antioxidant in its own right. Let me add that it has twice the antioxidant potential of vitamin E. While commonly known as a sleep hormone responsible for regulating sleep, melatonin does much more. During sleep, it works hard to protect the body from free radicals and aids in cellular regeneration. Why, in today's discussion about glutathione, am I bringing up melatonin, another antioxidant, but not mentioning other antioxidants that might be even stronger than melatonin? The reason is that there seems to be a still not fully understood connection between melatonin and today's main topic, glutathione. The better we sleep, that is, the more melatonin our body produces, the higher the concentration of glutathione in our system. This, in turn, leads to a healthier and more vibrant golden age of life. This relationship was confirmed by a meta-analysis of 12 studies, which provided evidence that melatonin supplementation has a real impact on the levels of the previously mentioned vacuum cleaner of free radicals, glutathione. As we can see, it's not only through diet or supplementation that we can increase the levels of this important compound in our cells, which helps us age healthily and ward off many chronic diseases. We can also achieve this through healthy sleep, as healthy sleep increases glutathione levels in our body. To wrap up, let me share a few interesting facts about glutathione. A question that has likely come to mind for many of you is, how can we naturally increase glutathione levels? I've already mentioned supplementation, but if you're not a fan of supplements, and not everyone has to be, then I have excellent news for you. There are natural ways to boost your glutathione levels. First, I recommend incorporating sulfur-rich foods into your diet, as sulfur is essential for glutathione synthesis. You can find it in broccoli, Brussels sprouts, cauliflower, kale, garlic, arugula, and mustard greens. Additionally, aim for foods high in vitamin C. Research shows that as little as 500 milligrams of vitamin C per day can increase glutathione production by nearly 50%. You should also consider adding selenium-rich foods to your diet, such as Brazil nuts, as selenium significantly enhances glutathione synthesis. Finally, it's worth including natural sources of glutathione in your meals, such as avocados, spinach, broccoli, and asparagus. And if you're a fan of salads, I recommend drizzling them with milk thistle oil, which has been shown in scientific studies to have a positive and significant effect on glutathione levels. Since glycine and cysteine increase glutathione levels, as demonstrated in the study I mentioned earlier, another question arises. Where can we naturally find glycine and cysteine? You can find glycine in pumpkin seeds, sunflower seeds, various nuts, meat, fish, dairy products, buckwheat, red lentils, oatmeal, and cauliflower. Cysteine, on the other hand, can be found in sunflower seeds, eggs, meat, and walnuts. And now, the final question. What lowers glutathione levels? Since I've already explained how to boost your glutathione reserves, it's important to address the bad habits that can reduce its concentration. And, of course, we want to avoid those. First, avoid smoking and being in enclosed spaces with smokers. Next, limit alcohol consumption. And finally, steer clear of sleepless nights, as they also lower glutathione levels in your body. Thank you for watching today's episode. I hope you found this information helpful. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with anyone who might benefit from it. And as always, I'll see you in the next episode. Take care.